Welcome along to this Go Ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship semi-final. It's Cuala against Na Fianna. Cuala, who are multiple winners, against Na Fianna, who have never got their hands on the cup but got to the final last year. Joe Fortune with me for this. Joe, what are you expecting?
Yeah, really looking forward to it, Oisin, to be honest with you, after last night as well. Like that's at a benchmark. Like Crokes looked really hungry last night. I suppose towards the end, got rid of Ballyboden and put themselves back into a final. And the big question now is whether can Na Fianna go back where they were last year. Obviously they're going to be missing one or two significant players, and then obviously Cuala have set that benchmark for where Dublin Hurling has been over the last kind of 5 or 6, 7 years. So again, is that hunger still in them to go another step and get back to another county final and win another one, or can the young guns from Na Fianna push on again, get back to a final and actually go and win it this year?
What kind of game are you expecting?
I think, like the first game, we were here for the first game, the conditions out there for people that are home are not great. Now it's starting to brighten up a small bit now, but we had a lot of rain earlier on and the ball was very sticky, and I can see a big physical battle. Like both teams, even when you look at the first game, the physical presence of both teams here is significantly bigger. I think Rushy should have a big impact on the game as well. The big question is, I suppose, who goes in and marks Con if he's fit. And then again, I suppose the question all year, or the conversation all year, was been like Na Fianna have been very, very, very unfortunate with injuries all year. Lads been away as well, and like a lot of people thought that maybe they were timing their own right coming back into a quarter-final or semi-final, but they've lost Paul O'D, who I rate quite highly as a 5, and then from the last game as well, the news hasn't been good on Shane Barrett.
Shane Barrett not in the squad, Paul O'D not in the squad. For Cuala, there are stories circulating that perhaps Conor Callahan is not fit, so he may not start despite the fact that he's named to start. These two met in the group. Na Fianna won it by 7, but it was tight enough up until about the 54th minute. Does that game have any relevance to this?
None, because now it's all about knockout. I suppose there's a safety blanket there for every team in the kind of proverbial league part of it, and David Tracy seems to be quite heavily strapped there as well, Oisin. Like he's a bit ginger on that right leg, so like you'd hope for Cuala's sake as well that without Tracy and Con, that would probably be again significance of what Na Fianna have had to deal with. But look, I think it's going to be a really good game. It has to be. Na Fianna have relied on Berkey an awful lot in regards, so have Dublin over the last while as well, but they need a big game from him, and I suppose there's 2 changes coming in for Na Fianna, and the big thing for me as well is, can the Currys now on a day like today really stand up and show that they need to get back to a county final again?
The huddle being held for Cuala, Na Fianna about to go into those. What is said in those huddles?
I think that's the leaders. Look, you'll have 1 or 2 leaders who'll say a few words. I don't know if everybody listens, in fact, on the basis that, look, your prep is done now. Like before you come to Parnell Park, it's about getting the body ready. The mind is ready all day. Yesterday, the last week has been about very little training, just getting yourself ready from a mind point of view for what's ahead. Because look, for both these clubs, like they want to be in a county final, and look, they've aspirations in Na Fianna for the last number of years with the underage success they've had to kind of get to the top. They were so close last year to getting there, but in a couple of minutes' time, Oisin, or maybe soon, we're going to do a minute's silence for what's happened in Donegal, and the significance of sport is at times for that game that we love kind of steps to the side for what's happened to those people up in Donegal. And I know in Malahide over the last day or two as well, they've lost a bright light out there. A young girl out there passed away from a long illness, Heather Skinner. So like all those things that happen outside her, we love this game, but what those poor people up in Donegal are going through is a tough time over the next while.
They can't take any consolation from our words. All that we can do is reach our hands out and say, we're with you. Yeah, that's all we can do. That's all you can do for Donegal at the moment, and the people up there have reacted unbelievably to it, and they've all lent a hand, they've all chipped in, they've all done what they can and will continue to do what they can. We now will take a moment to remember those who have passed far, far before their time. Now we'll have the national anthem. Cuala, the 8-time champions of Dublin, up against Na Fianna, who have come close but are yet to taste victory at the top level of Dublin hurling. They did win 4 Dublin minor championships in a row from 2014 to 2017, and then 3 in a row in the under-21 grade from 2016 to 2018. All of that talent is now kind of coming to fruition. It's hitting its peak at senior level, and you get the feeling it's only a matter of time before they deliver. Kilmacud Crokes awaiting the winners in the final. Who will the winners be? We will find out today. Ball-in, game on. Cuala in the white and the red, Na Fianna in the blue and gold. And that is a free out. Taking it, Sean Moore. Missed the game between these two in the group. We talk about the players that Na Fianna lost that day. Cuala were missing a few as well. Shannon. Tidy enough hand pass. No real breeze to speak of. The rain has stopped, but the sod heavy from the rain. It is a really good sod here though. Running onto that one is Liam Murphy. Very, very strong. Couldn't make it his. It takes that extra half second maybe to get the ball in hand at this time of year, especially when you've got half the Na Fianna defence on top of you. Donal Ryan in there battling for it. Intercepted, but then dropped. It's a real scramble. David Tracy trying to flick it into his hand, but instead getting it is Micheál Murphy. Finds a player in space. He has a look up. Delivered long from Peter Feeney. AJ Murphy was the target, but it was intercepted by Sean Moran. Intercepted again. It's Sean Curry. Curry, who missed the group game, blocked down brilliantly by Darragh O'Connell, the Kerry man. Sean Moran. Sean Moran has had a few possessions, even though it's very early in the game. Darragh O'Connell. Who's it going to break to? Cuala. Trying to find a way through is Mark Schutte. Mark Schutte leaving Conor McHugh behind. 2 men who've played football for Dublin. Mark Schutte has a go, doesn't catch it right. It's easy for Tracy.
Yeah, probably could have got the free Ocean out on the sideline, but he continued on. Mark continued on, but again, like, you know, it's just sloppy so far, and you got to get that score on the board before something kind of really happens. But look, both teams have just kind of missed pickups, but it's the conditions, like, for people that are not there, like, that ball is very, very sticky, so move the ball fast today.
Speaking of fast, here's Peter Feeney going right through the centre. Had a runner, but he was dispossessed. Great tracking back by Killian Shannon. Sean Moran over it again. Darragh O'Connell taking off. Looks like for the moment Darragh O'Connell will play as an actual half-back. Sometimes he's named there, but kind of strays forward an awful lot. Will still pop up top when needed. That's a good spin by Donal Ryan. Ryan. That's a pass, not a shot. Brennan has to be careful. That has eventually gone dead. Still battling for it is Donald Burke. The umpire took a second, but yeah, it is a puck out.
It didn't look like it was gone, and Berkey's saying the same thing. Like, to be honest with you, Sean waited for the ball to come in. They're obviously trying to keep Berkey one-on-one inside. You know, no con. So again, like, for you can see the forwards there as well. It's just Tracy is moving, but I think that leg is very, very heavily strapped. So that'll be something to keep a close eye on. But Na Fianna trying to keep Berkey or AJ inside on their own.
Andy Power launched it, looking inside for Mark Schutte, swept away by Fergal Brannock. One of the stalwarts of this Na Fianna team delivers it to Donal Ryan. Ryan back to Tracy. Tracy has got a monster puck. I wonder will he go for it?
He's in there now.
He's going to drop it in. AJ Murphy scrambling, but there was just too many defenders back there.
Hey, just give the defenders an extra second. The ball is too high. John will know that himself. Like, for the next time, if he's one-on-one, it has to go lower. The trajectory of the ball has to be lower. And you know, if you go straight like that, you give the opportunity and the chance for the Cuala backs, Andy Power, and that to be strong in the air.
Dermot Clerkin will take the line, Paul. Dublin under 20 panellists this year. The Clerkin's synonymous with Na Fianna. Here's Liam Rush, second season with the club. Bounces kindly for AJ Murphy. Has Curry outside. Trying to make his way through here is Tom Brennan. Tom Brennan sails it over. First score of the game.
Yeah, and Jason had the hand up as well, because he was going to get the advantage, because it was around the neck. AJ got a bit of a bang there as well. Looks for the physio to be coming in. So,
well, that's a good start for Na Fianna. Tom Brennan, who played under 20 football for Dublin this year. Na Fianna already in the football final. They'll be up against Kilmacud Crokes. Can they make it to the hurling final? Long it goes from Liam Rush, looking for Curry. Simon Timlin battles Curry, has it back. Curry has it in hand, went to ground. Curry still trying to get the ball away, does get the pass away. Really great pass, Peter Feeney. That's a great score by Peter Feeney.
Yeah, and I actually Peter Feeney impressed me last year. He didn't make the final, I don't think, he came on as a sub, but he actually did really, really well for me last year in around the middle of the field. Curry there again, should be stronger in the air, but won the dirty ball on the ground at a second thought, just to be carrying the leg a small bit, I think. So just that right leg seems to be giving him a bit of hassle there.
No score yet for Cuala, early days. Here's Liam Rush.
He's had a lot of ball so far, like in that first kind of 5 or 6 minutes rush he has, and he's put 2 or 3 balls inside. John just needs to make sure this ball is lower.
Tracy looking for Curry. Moran. O'Callaghan.
Well done.
Colin Cronin was the target, but nipping in there was Brannock. It's out for a line ball to Cuala.
Cronin's made a big impact now since he's come back this year. Like, obviously missed last year, but he's added an awful lot more spice to that half forward line. Like, had a really good early career with Dublin as well under Dalo. So he's somebody who's definitely added to that Cuala forward line this year.
And his teammates would tell you during the heady days of their All-Ireland wins, which they could well return back to, he was a driving force. He was a vital cog. Speaking of driving force, here's Clerkin trying to get away from Malone, who's chasing after him. Clerkin still going. That's an unbelievable run. It opens up for Clerkin. Just dropped at the final second. Is sliding out there with Sean Brennan. Falls kindly for Curry. Curry has a go and slots it over.
Yep.
Or has he?
No, he has.
Well, it took a second, but eventually they put up the flag. Colin Curry, who scored 1-4 against Finneys in the quarter-final, gets his first point today. 3 in a row for Na Fianna, and they lead.
Yeah, you wouldn't want your corner forward to be as slow as the umpire there, in fairness, because it was definitely over the bar. And Colin, great score. Rushy's getting a lot of ball there as well, and they're causing problems inside Rush. And you can see Cuala obviously sitting back as they do with Sean Moran, but just so far Na Fianna are on top in that first kind of 6-7 minutes.
David Tracy with, as you say, that heavily strapped leg. That's a clever ball into the corner. Mark Shute was the aim. Shute muscled off it by Conor McHugh. Such a strong player, Conor McHugh. And Na Fianna win the line ball.
Yeah, they're up for it, and so far anyway. And sometimes when you lose a player or two, it kind of galvanises the squad, the people around them as well. Shane and Paul being 2 big losses for Na Fianna, but it can galvanise the squad too. But it's the longevity of this. How long can they maintain it? And we haven't seen Burkey on a ball yet either inside, so they're going to need to get him on ball quick if they want to make sure that they progress to a final.
Intercepted by Tracy, but it was just too hot to handle, and he spills it. Micheál Murphy just looking for the perfect patch of grass. Former Dublin underage player reached an under-20 All-Ireland final. Falls kindly for Feeney. Back to Murphy. The way these guys can find space in close confines, it's really amazing. Clerkin now trying to scoop it up there is Cillian Shannon. Cian O'Callaghan. David Tracy. Back to Cian O'Callaghan. Cian took his time, just took a second, measured it. And it might fall kindly here. It's Liam Murphy. Murphy surrounded by yellow and blue, or blue and gold, depending on what way you look at it. Here's Sean Tracy. Tracy squeezed it over. That was a really well worked and really well taken score. Yeah,
fine score. Murphy did well as well. A lot of talk about Liam. I've seen him a few times now, and he's impressed me every time I've seen him. But again, when Sean's on form like that, a great underage career with Dublin. Decided at one stage maybe not to go in a senior capacity, which may change. But great score off his left hand side.
Yeah, scored 2-2 in that Leinster under-21 final in 2016.
Yeah, in the second half, we were 4 points down against Offaly that day, and came out in the second half and he lit it up.
Cian O'Callaghan. Good ball, that's Cillian Shannon. Spilt it, coming in to sweep up Sean Curry. Curry had AJ Murphy outside. Went backwards instead to Feeney. Good take by Donal Ryan. Falls kindly for Tom Brennan. Brennan tried to flick it on, it was a vital block. That was Sean Moran, read it really well.
Yeah, if you're playing that one-man full forward line, which Na Fianna are, it's very hard to not have Sean Moran involved. Ooh,
Mark Shute's taken it. Shute's bottled up. It's a free rather than a penalty. Well, 2 on 3 in Na Fianna's favour there, but still Shute won the ball and has almost guaranteed his side a point. It just goes to show when you've got a strong number 14 who can catch ball, you can cause problems. Doesn't matter how many players the opposition have back.
Yeah, absolutely. And when Mark was at his best, he was able to win his own ball and he took defenders on. In the last, maybe year or two, he's tended to shoot more. But like for me, when Mark Shute is on form, it's take the man on. Go down the head, go down the throat at him. And again, look, he's won a good free there for Cuala.
Well, despite the fact that there's what you call winter conditions today, that's the 5th point of the game, but the first from a place ball. Earlier on, Folks taking on Castleknock in the Senior 2 semi-final. Folks getting the win there, so they'll join Whitehall in the Senior 2 go-ahead Dublin hurling final. Who'll be in the Senior 1 decider? Croke's already there. Paddled into the middle and Peter Feeney. Feeney looking for AJ Murphy. Sean Moran misses it. Murphy does take it at a tight angle. Sean Curry off the woodwork, and luckily
he's got his free.
He's got his free.
But again, like you talk about coaching parameters, where that the ball was coming there as well, and when Rushy and Peter Feeney get the ball, they're not hitting the sweeper. They're getting over Sean Moran's head, which is so important, because a couple of balls they came out there a few minutes ago, made it too hard. But again, that ball went directly to AJ, and it allowed kind of that. He got off the 6 and he was able to get away from the sweeper as well, which gave them an opportunity to get a score on the board. But definitely a free. You see the Cuala forwards now ready for a puck out, and they're all again for people that are home. They're all in that line, apart from for Sean Tracy who breaks away. But they'll sit in that line then, and it'll be a case then do you mark from the outside or in. But Rushy seems to be calling the shots back there.
Donald Burke sends it over, his first of the game. Na Fianna by 2. Peter Feeney gets there to try and get it into the hand. Also there, Colm Cronin. Free for Na Fianna.
It's a big one out for Berkey, isn't it? Because it's a fair distance out, in the conditions that are there today. But if he can get this one, the physical side of things so far, Na Fianna are definitely up for it. They're winning that 50-50 ball. Cuala a little bit laboured, but they were the last two. It took them a while to get going, and once they get going, look, we all know the type of team that it can be is. But Cronin hasn't got on ball yet as well, so they'll be a bit, I suppose, apprehensive about that.
Burke, who got 8 in the quarter-final against St Vincent's,
great strike,
gets his second here today. That is a fantastic free, as you rightfully say. His second in a row, Na Fianna's second in a row, and now they're back on top.
Yeah, he's so important for Na Fianna and for Dublin as well, I suppose. When he's on form, he can be unmarkable at times, so they're going to need a big day out of him. But here's another man that set the mantle maybe for him in a couple of years before he arrived.
David Tracy. Don't think that has the legs or the accuracy. It's wide.
I think he's struggling on that leg, Oisin. It's so heavily strapped, you'd wonder how you could really move,
He didn't move well there.
Yeah.
He looked kind of, for want of a better phrase, a little bit wobbly. Nothing to do with him, not his fault if he's injured. Let's see how he gets on here. David Tracy, he was gifted the ball from the puck out, and he's very unlucky. It hits the woodwork. Conor McHugh comes in to take it up. Another one of the dual stars, another one who's hoping to add a first senior football and senior hurling medal. Well, his first, not the club's first in senior football, obviously.
Yeah, McHugh's impressed me, I have to say, even in the last couple of years. I know they've been allowed to play hurling and football again, because it wasn't the case for a while, but he's definitely impressed me as a man marker.
Donald Ryan hooked. Andy Power tries to get it up. He was tripped there by AJ Murphy, and it's a free out.
You'd hope that's not a card though, because it was, again, with the conditions that are there, it's more of a slip than anything else, I think.
So a free but no card. AJ Murphy has his hand up just to appease the referee. Andrew James to give him his full title.
Simon Timlin sticking really, really tight inside there as well to Colin Curry. Colin won't get much room there as well, but if he goes back in as that one man, you can see the two now again, but a dangerous ball inside.
Cronin up for it, Shute up for it. Liam Rush there.
Oh.
Is that a foul on the way out?
Absolutely.
It is. Mihal Murphy, his escape halted illegally, free out to Na Fianna.
Murphy's lovely feet, like the way he moves again, like, you know, and he's somebody who there's been so much talk about, and you'd love to see fellas like that driving on now, not just for a club, but I suppose for county over the next couple of years too, because like I said, last night was a sign that like there are some good young players coming through, but you have to stand up on the big days too, and I suppose the Kilmacud lads did last night, and so far for Na Fianna, they're definitely seem up for it today.
Well, I'm sure Micheál Donoghue will be making a few calls around now. November, I think, is when teams can start training collectively inter-county wise. That's a foul surely on Donald Burke. Referee allows play to continue. Miscued, and Sean Curry pickpockets Cuala, but unfortunately for him, can't take the score.
Scrappy Ocean, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, there's no real flow to it yet. Like, and maybe our team's trying to play it through the lines, or like Cuala are so far. And again, I said this the last day, and they really came back into it, but they seem very one-dimensional so far.
Well, I'm sure both of these teams will hope. Well, the players who play inter-county will hope not to be involved with the inter-county setups in November because they want to be playing in the Provincial Club Championship. David Tracy knows all about that competition. Trying to collect it there for Na Fianna was Sean Burke. He couldn't do so first time, but little help there. Feeney. Murphy. AJ Murphy. He's dropped deep because he was getting nothing inside. AJ Murphy.
Oh,
that looks
that's some score.
Really good. Fantastic from AJ Murphy, the score of the game so far.
It is, yeah, and he's capable of every day long. I go, Flynn is out on him there now, and Flynn would have a good bit of height and physicality on him, but AJ is capable of that. Like, you know, but again, he just needs that word in the ear all the time to keep pushing the performance levels and energy levels all the time. But look, they're working hard here at the moment.
3 points in a row for Na Fianna. They lead by 4. Jake Malone, who's sporting that new helmet, off the woodwork. No red to collect it. Malone normally wears a black and white helmet. Today it's red. McHugh away. Waiting for it is Simon Timlin, but he's battling Colin Curry. Colin Curry kicks it forward. Lost the Hurley. Murphy was in there to help him out. Goes out over the line. Line ball for Na Fianna. Great work from them. As you say, Joe, they are up for it.
Oh, they're up for it, but Colin did really well there on the ground. I just love to see him put his hand up for that ball as well, like, you know, because that hurl in the air it just doesn't work at this level. I'd love to see him getting used to getting his hand up in the air because he's fighting for ball on the ground. He's well able to catch that ball if he tried to.
Sean Curry, good ball. Cian O'Callaghan just doing enough. Just wouldn't fall into the path of Sean Baxter. Cuala get it up. It's Killian Shannon. Gets it backwards. Sean Moran. Policed by Murphy. Moran staying cool, staying composed, and then clearing.
But yeah, just hitting the ball though, and that's not like Sean. Like, Sean normally works through the lines really, really well. Had Sean Brennan as an option there too. Collected by Brannock, who moved it on to McHugh.
That's harmless from the Cuala point of view. McHugh, you could tell straight away when he hit it, he was frustrated.
Yeah, and it's the kind of score that lifts a crowd, Oisin. But you know, realistically, if an inside forward, you want the ball played in. Again, are they getting enough ball? Keane is doing really well on Burke there. In fairness, like he's closing him up every time because Keane does that. Like, he's that type of a close marker. I know there's talk that he's going travelling next year, so he'll be a loss for Dublin and for Cuala as well.
It's intercepted again. Fergal Brannock was there. Liam Rush. Rush looking inside for AJ Murphy. Murphy out to meet it. Couldn't take it first time. Gets lucky because Moran slipped. Colin Curry got it back to Donald Burke. No was the shout at Donald Burke, and it goes wide. I think Sean Curry might have been making that shout. It was not the percentage play to go for it from there when he was kind of off balance and heavily marked. Yeah,
that's 2 or 3 that they've had, like, and you know, and again, management to be kind of saying, look, you could be 7-8 points up on Cuala here now if your shooting was better, and just that wrong option. But they look sharp up front, and I just think Coola's backs at the moment look a little bit laboured, but that can change in an instant as well.
What a take that was from Sean Curry. Moved on to Tom Brennan. They're looking to work the goal here. It's Clerkin.
Yep.
It is a goal.
They deserve it, Oisin. They deserve it because they're fighting for ball on the ground, and you know, at the moment Cuala look very, very laboured and tired, or you know, they're just not motoring well in around the middle of the field, and in fairness to Na Fianna, they are, and a lot of that came as well. I think Peter Feeney's having a great game in around the middle, and a great finish as well. You could see Sean Brennan calling the defender, but a good finish and a great goal for Na Fianna.
His first year on the senior panel, Jeremy Clerkin, what an impact he's made. Sean Moran. Cuala are a good team, they're a champion team, they're a winning team, they won't panic. There's a long way to go. And that's a wide coming off the stick of Liam Murphy. Oh, got over, yeah, it did go over. Well, what did I say? They won't give up. They won't panic. They'll find the scores.
He's a fine player as well, like, you know, just so great centre of balance, great, and, you know, off his left hand side. And look, Cuala needed that because, you know, apart from a Tracy free, I think, you know, and what they call a Sean Tracy score, like, they've been very quiet. You know, 3 points in 20 minutes hurling. You know, management won't be happy with that, but loads of time, they won't panic. That's what champions are made of. But Na Fianna look hungry here.
Peter Feeney.
I told you, that fella, he's flying in the middle of the field. Like, and again, last year I just thought in the final last year he was taken off, or I can't remember, but I just thought he had a great club campaign last year, and he gets through an awful lot of work. Just that, what you called earlier on, that kind of, what was it?
Owl dogs.
Yeah, he just gets through serious work in the middle of the field. So, you know, great score is again.
Nice turn by Mark Schutte. They need players like him to step up. They've got a lot of them. That's a great block by Conor McHugh, and then it went off Schutte. Well,
too long on the ball, and Mark will know that himself. Like, you know, the ball has to be let off quicker, but I'm just not sure the options are inside. We haven't seen Colm Cronin on ball yet as well. Like, and, you know, just everything's just a little bit slower than what it normally is there. But, you know, maybe that layoff as well, you know, and coming into today, and I don't know, it just seemed laboured at the moment. So they need half time to come, I think.
Still a long way to half time. Sean Tracy. They need a boost. I don't think this will be it. No, it isn't. A bit like Ballyboden last night. Cuala look a bit heavy-legged, a bit plodding so far. Murphy takes it. Murphy shook off Shannon. Murphy. That's another fine score.
Yeah, it's a fine score. He had to turn onto the right. Like, he wasn't comfortable hitting it off his left, but he turned onto the right and again got the ball over the bar. And you can see Sean Brennan now looking for an option here for puckouts.
Cian O'Callaghan. Asks a lot of O'Flynn to get there. O'Flynn, much to his credit, does.
Good hit.
Fantastic hit. Wonderful work by Donald Burke.
Yeah, Burkey's up for it now. You can see it. Like, and again, looked, you know, earlier on and was stuck inside, but you can see it off the ball here as well. I know the linesman has had a word with him a few minutes ago, but he's adding that physical part to his game, which is needed as well to really make the step up at intercounty level too. So big hit, and, you know, again, it's all Na Fianna at the moment.
Sean Curry assessing his options, I think it's fair to say. Gets good height on that, but Sean Moran was back there. AJ Murphy throws in a tackle. Moran, though, it breaks kindly for him. Murphy and Andy Power had a little collision off the ball there. Moran clears it, looking for Mark Schutte. Conor McHugh, did he trip Mark Schutte?
I don't think so, no.
No, he didn't, and he's got the slitter in hand. He's having a fine game so far. I almost jinxed him there. That pass almost didn't work out, but much to the credit of Peter Feeney, he did get there. However, it's a free in.
Yeah, good. Well, that's better by Cronin, like, you know, bottling the player up. Mark Schutte is coming out having a word with Jason as well. Maybe thought, you know, was he tripped on the way inside, but they'll still give a chance for David now to put the ball over the bar and settle Cuala down again. See Sean Brennan now giving out.
And the keeper organising his defence, coming all the way up to the 45. You can't see that, that's off camera. We're concentrating on David Tracy, looking to get another score, looking to keep Cuala in it. And he taps it over. Second score for David Tracy, both from frees.
Like, they won't panic, Oisin. Like, you know, they've been on big days where things haven't been going well for a 15-20 minute spell, but I wouldn't allow Na Fianna get too far ahead.
Na Fianna going for it again. Curry was inside.
Well done, Sean Brennan.
Sean Brennan read it really well. Very experienced Sean Brennan. Liam Rush is waiting for this one. What a take from Liam Rush. What you call a typical Liam Rush catch. Brennan looking for Curry. Colin Curry, that is. Gives it off to Sean Curry. The Curry brothers.
Oh,
that's a fantastic ball for Sean Baxter, but he just couldn't get there. Really good work for Cuala.
Yeah, maybe Sean would have put over the bar himself.
Intercepted by Sean Curry. Curry inside to Murphy. Oh, left behind. Killian Shannon tries to take it.
They obviously see weakness here for goals, Oisin, because they're running the ball every time at that Cuala defence rather than, I suppose, taking what, you know, you've said it a few times, we take the easy score and just allow Cuala to come up the field again. Man inside on his own. Great take.
Fantastic take. Could have gone for goal, but chose to tap it over. Liam Murphy gets his second.
Yeah, Sean had a chance there to put the ball over the bar, and that can be a little bit demoralising as well, because they're on top, and this thing of running at the fence, that's fine when it works off, but you've had 2 or 3 opportunities now to put the ball over the bar, keep adding the nails all the time, and in fairness, what a great score by young Murphy again. Great hands, great wrists, turn and bang over the bar.
First time since the 12th minute that Cuala have managed to get 2 points in a row. AJ Murphy comes out, Cian O'Callaghan bumps him off it. Colin and Sean Curry in there battling first, as is Fergal Brannock. Squirts out, Shannon running after it, but it's Donal Ryan who wins it. Ryan laid it off. Not sure that would have the legs. That was from Baxter. Brennan got there. Tracy going long, intercepted by Liam Rush. Colin Curry, it's opened up for him. There's an easy score on for him if he wants to take it, which he does.
That's better.
His second of the game, both from play.
Again, you said it a while ago, Rush is like he's, when they need him, he really is winning that ball in the air, and he's well capable of giving a good ball inside as well. That's the standard he has, and again, supposedly another man who's going travelling and will be a loss, I suppose, in capacity as well for Dublin, even though he had an unfortunate this year with injury.
Liam Murphy looking for his third.
He's a real deal, that fella.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's keeping Cuala in it.
He is. Just his turn of pace, and he's striking on both sides as well is really, really good, and he's making sure inside there now at the moment he's giving one of the other Burks a fairly hard time, so they might have to consider a switch there.
Sean picking him up at the moment. It's the kind of ball though for a forward, it's tough for a back to do anything about it if it's good and it's delivered. Well, Cuala are making a change.
Yeah, Andy Power is coming out.
Conroy coming in.
Probably surprised that Conroy didn't start, because he's had a good club year this year as well, and look like a nice welcome to Parnell Park from there as well, which is good.
He's picking up Sean Curry. He has the pace and athleticism to stay with Curry. I'm not suggesting that Power doesn't, but Conroy's probably just that bit faster. Tracy.
Cuala are allowing that.
Oh, it's gone in!
And that all
the
comes from...
The goalkeeper will claim it. Someone might have got a touch. I'm sure Na Fianna don't care. Tracy is celebrating like he's got the goal. It's Na Fianna 2-9, Cuala 6 points.
Yeah, and John O'Trade, no better man to celebrate. But again, it all comes from allowing Na Fianna that puck out, that short puck out, and I've never seen a Cuala team to retract that far out, to allow the team. Like Tracy was 40-50 yards from goal, but again, probably a mistaken goal for Cuala, which, look, again, they won't panic, but Na Fianna just at the moment just have the tails up, and they're 9 points up here now at the minute.
Tracy cleared it. The electrician looked wired there after scoring that goal. Donald Burke doesn't catch it right. Sean Moran. The weather is improving. Liam Murphy, this time, in fairness, Burke got in there, did what he needed to do. Brannock tidies it up, gets it out to Tracy.
He does, and Na Fianna are very well set up in there as well, Oisin, from a defensive point of view, because when you look at it all the time, like Brannock is in around that area, which he did last year for them as well, and he's just sitting just in behind the 6, allowing Rush to attack the ball, but again, he's pushing boys out to man mark. You can see McHugh coming out as well here now, that he doesn't get caught off mark.
He's so solid, Brannock. That ball falls for Colm Cronin. Then
Tackle.
Pops out, comes to Sean Curry. Curry trying to get past Sean Moran, he did. Cuala look like they've got it back, they have. And
well
Sean
done.
Moran, he didn't give up on that one, and
well
now
done,
he's
Sean
got the free
Moran.
out.
Yeah, Sean did really, really well there, Oisin. Won the dirty ball on the ground after a good turnover, but you can see like Na Fianna lads sprint and he has turned up.
Free man. They need a score. Colm Shannon tries to get one, and he has. Left completely unmarked.
Yeah, that's the performance level that Na Fianna need to be thinking about and talking about all the time, that you don't switch off. Yeah, we're 7, 8, 9 up, whatever it might be, but you still get back on your job. I can see Jason Buckley's going in here now to have a chat. Maybe he dropped something.
Liam Murphy now being picked up by Fergal Brannock. Sean Burke is the spare man from the puck out, if that makes sense.
He goes again.
Back to Tracy. Doesn't try to drain it for everything, just cleverly plays it into the wing forward position.
Free.
Donald Burke fouled by Dermot O'Flynn, Duff as he's better known.
again, I don't understand this now at the minute. The whole idea of allowing that there's a 40-yard gap when Tracy has the ball, which gives him a platform every time to put that ball in. A keeper is obviously should be your best deliverer of the ball on your field, and it's going at a low trajectory. Berkey wins the ball well and is dragged down for a free. So I suppose something needs to happen from a Cuala perspective here as well, because look, they have the players out there to do it, but just at the minute Na Fianna are on top from a coaching point of view as well as from a playing point of view.
So the free will be taken by Donald Burke. He's already got 2.
Remember, this can change so quick as well, Ush. Again, last night I was you're seeing the fact that the younger guys for Crokes can do so well, but you'd still in the back of your head go, will the likes of the Keeneys and the Durkins and the Lamberts kind of push on, and it didn't happen last night, and it kept going, and Crokes just kept hungry. So it's testament to the work that Na Fianna are doing in the background as well, because Shane Barrett and Paul O'Dea missing, but they're not holding vigils for them today. Like they're going out and they're playing, and they're living up to what you said earlier on about that underage talent coming through.
Mark Schutte pressurised by McHugh, spilled it out over the line, couldn't get it into his hand. McHugh to rush. Cuala again, slow to close him down. McHugh. Tracy, there is the out ball.
Look at the space he has again.
Swats it down the line, looking for Donald Burke. Donald Burke got it. Burke going for it from a very tight angle as the rain begins to fall again. Yep. I think Burke could make it rain the way he's playing today. Fantastic.
But again, Oisin, ask yourself the question, like one of the top forwards in Ireland when he's on form, Donald Burke, and that's a turnover again, steps inside a free, you got 11 points up, and that all came from Curry. But Berkey, in fairness, you have to don't lose your free now, but Berkey, in fairness to him, he's awake, he's putting in the physical hits, and like you're allowing one of the top forwards in Ireland to get a ball from your goalkeeper 40 yards out. That's something that has to be looked at half time, and I've no doubt will be.
Well, Burke in line for 3 points in a row here because they've got the free right in front of goal. Cuala may have responded to that Tracy goal with the Sheenan point, but since that, Na Fianna have got, well, I just held on for a second and to say 3.
You have to hold on. Even last night, young Oisin last night, the younger of the Oisins last night, he just took the mind off the focus for a second, but look, it didn't matter in the end. But I'm sure there's the likes of McGowan and them are giving him a bit of slagging over that today out there.
Do you mean Oisin O'Rourke?
Yeah.
O'Flynn.
Good pressure again from Curry.
This time it's a foul. Just left his arm kind of on.
I think it's harsh, to be honest. But Jason's in fairness doing a good game. Though I just think it's harsh because Curry stands up, and when the player drops then and throw the head back, I saw that this year myself that some refs tend to fall for it.
So David Tracy. Not too many stoppages in the first half, so I imagine this could be the last shot at goal.
Just look at the body language here again. You're looking again, maybe as a manager you're looking out here and you're seeing the body language of some of the defenders. They needed
Tracy.
That. Yep.
Over it goes. Had a bit to spare in the end, David Tracy, his third of the game. All from frees. Half time, Na Fianna 2-12, Cuala 8 points. Joe, try and make sense of that one.
Yeah, I suppose it comes down to hunger. It comes down to winning that dirty ball, the ball on the ground. Rushy's doing well at 6. He's providing that platform inside. In fairness to John O'Tracy, again, his puckouts have been good, but they're being allowed Oisin play hurling. They're being allowed, and when you allow a team, I've said it for years. When you allow a team like Na Fianna to play hurling on days, they'll play hurling all day long. And unlike Cuala at the moment, unlike the old Cuala, I can see Con getting a word in his ear on the way across the field now. So I'd imagine if he's anyway fit, they'll try and bring him in, because if not, they're going out of the championship today. But look, they won't panic. Look, they're the team that they are because they don't panic, and they've been massive servants and champions of Dublin hurling over the years. But credit where it's due at the moment. Na Fianna are well on top.
Let's get a look at the highlights of the first half. This far better viewing for Na Fianna than it is for Cuala.
Yeah, again, that ball comes in by Rushy, and again a mistake by the Cuala defence. Sean just missed that one as he came out, and AJ was on top of the ball. But again, they're just working hard all the time. And somebody spoke about yesterday evening about winning your own ball on the forwards, and in fairness to Burke and to Colin, I'd love to see Colin putting his hand up more. I think Colin could be special, if he's coaching that direction of winning his own dirty ball. But at the moment, like, you have to give it to them, that energy that that again, look at this run here, like, and nobody, like the usual there, like, you'd see, a couple of years ago, Paul Schutte or Rushing Goff, like Baxter would have ended up in the far end of the stand, like he would have got hit that hard. And they're not physically imposing as they usually are, and Sean Brennan's doing a lot of shouting and roaring there because he's looking for more from out the field. So I'd say there will be a few harsh words inside at half time now in that Cuala dressing room.
And they're not done yet. They have the talent
Absolutely.
to get going. Sean Tracy got their first point. It was a good one as well.
Yeah, and Sean has been quiet after that, and again, David, like I said earlier, his leg is heavily strapped. He's not his usual self. Like he normally peels off as a 10 or a 12, and he'll give a 5 or a 7 a hard time. Mark, I suppose, again got inside here. Was held up, let's call it, by the Na Fianna defence, and again Tracy ball over the bar,
followed by a Burke free. Not his first in this game.
He's been good, Oisín. I thought for the first 5 or 6 minutes, he's had a couple of injuries this year in the off season from the inter-county, and that man needs a break, I think, as well. Whenever this club season finishes, there's an awful lot asked from club and county, and I know he's a young guy, but he's had injury issues, and he needs to be minded to a point as well. But look, again, when he's on top, I liked it down here as well. He's shown that physical nature to his game that sometimes goes unnoticed, and again, a great run here through the centre of that. They're definitely coaching wise have looked for goals, and again, a great finish here because the centre of that Cuala defence has opened up a couple of times.
Well, listen, at 20th minute, Liam Murphy.
He's definitely a star in the making. He's lovely feet, great strike, of both sides. But he's the only one really at the moment that you say is causing a danger. If Con is right, they're going to have to take him in because, like I said, if they don't, you're looking at the moment at a 10-point lead at half time. 8 points in a halves hurling from Cuala is probably unheard of. In championship capacity anyway.
That one squeezed over somehow. Fantastic play by Micheál Murphy.
You'd wonder, though, Oisín, the psychology of this, and again from a sports performance point of view. Last year, the big question is now, what impact did the final last year, losing the final, have on Na Fianna? You're 10 points up on a team that's won 2 All-Irelands. I know it's changed, but do you now have the mindset to drive on and get back to a final again, or are you going to, in the back of your mind, be thinking about what happened last year? And you'd hope for the sake of both teams that you come out in the second half and really go at it. And is there a hangover there from last year from a county final point of view?
And keep in mind as well, when these two met in the group, it was level after I think 54 minutes, and then Cuala went on to win it, so these things can change very quickly. Granted, a very different type of game. It wasn't knockout.
Na Fianna went it, didn't it?
Sorry, did I say Cuala? Yeah, it was like Cuala went on to win it, I beg your pardon. But my point is it just goes to show how quickly these things can change, and these two teams know that better than anyone.
Yeah,
I don't know, did someone get a touch on that? I'd like to get another look at that goal. We will do just before the start of the second half.
John O'Tracy will delete every copy of that now, I say, for the next 6 months, because he's going to claim it all day long. And look, I think he deserves it because he's shown for ball out 30-40 yards from goal, which it's kind of nearly quarterbackish in some ways as well. And Sean Brennan can do that at times, but he's not been given any opportunity today to get that ball because Na Fianna are pushing up on puckouts, whereas Cuala are retracting, and it's surprising.
What a take and score that was from Donald Burke. He got 1 from play in the first half. That was it.
Look at that sight out there as well, and I suppose people talk about that proverbial Sunday afternoon in Parnell Park, but you've got hundreds of kids on the field there now as well. Look after last night and today, looking at the heroes that they have to look up to for the next couple of years in both clubs.
Well, let's just reel off the last score of the game before we get a look at what you were just talking about there. And there it is, a wonderful sight in Parnell Park. They want to be back here in a few years playing for their club. Today it's the turn of Na Fianna and Cuala, and it's Na Fianna who are very much in charge. 2-12 to 8 points against Cuala. Kilmacud Crokes awaiting the final, awaiting one of these two teams in the final. Who will it be? It looks like Na Fianna at the moment, but of course in sport, especially in hurling, things can change very, very quickly, and we know from down the years Cuala have the firepower to get back into any game and get out of any bad situation they find themselves in. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel where all of these games will pop up automatically, and of course you can follow all of our usual social media channels, the Dublin GA social media channels, for more info on games and everything else that's going on. If there are games taken by RTE or TG Carr, as might happen for the football final and the hurling final, you'll find out there. We'll tell you, we'll let you know. Either way, you'll be able to watch the final, either there or here. Somewhere we'll show it. Better again, come along. It's a great experience. Half time, Na Fianna 2-12, Cuala 8 points. Back with the second half soon. Welcome back. Cuala have joined us for the second half of this go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship semi-final. Na Fianna just coming back on the park. Niall Carty and Kevin Kerwin are in for Cuala. Before we get to the second half, let's take a look at one of the highlights of the first half. Well, a highlight from the Na Fianna point of view. Their second goal. Did it get a touch? Tracy absolutely launched it.
No.
No touch?
I don't think so, no. I don't think so.
Donald Burke was fist pumping like he got something on it, but maybe he was just celebrating because his team got a goal. But look, Na Fianna don't care, they got the second goal, but we're still not 100% certain as to whether or not it was Tracy or did Burke get something on it.
Yeah, look, from the screen that we have here again beside us, I'm sure at home now when we'll be watching later on, people at home now will be able to tell you I know Jason's looking for a ball here now. Cuala were out early, Oisín. I'd say there was a few home truths told at half time, but look, Na Fianna are on top here now, and again the big question is now, can they live it? Can they go for the next 30 minutes and get themselves back into a county final after last year's disappointment?
Well, I'm just trying to assess who came off for the players who came on. Kevin Kerwin was one of those players who came on, gets it out to Darragh O'Connell. Darragh O'Connell crossfields it. McHugh was waiting for it. Mark Schutte got something on it, couldn't take it cleanly. Back to sweep up and help out is Peter Feeney. Got 2 wonderful points in the first half. Conor McHugh using his strength, using his skill, gets it out to Fergal Burnock. Went long and it was misread by AJ Murphy and gobbled up by Simon Timlin. Out to Darragh O'Connell. Mark Schutte probing as the ball goes over the crossbar. That's what they needed. Darragh O'Connell with the first of the second half.
Yeah, good score by Darragh. We haven't really seen him much in the first half, and a great score on the right hand side from the right hand channel. So again, it's important that Cuala kind of get that again, in the second half here, to ask questions whether Na Fianna can live with this. Great catch.
Battling for it there, Colin Cronin. That's a free in.
So the big thing from a manager's point of view I suppose at half time would have been, the question from Na Fianna would be, look, let's hold it for the first 5, 6, 7 minutes. Let's make sure don't give frees away, because Tracy's a 9 out of 10 shooter all day long from frees, so let's make sure we don't give silly frees away. So it looks like the first 2 scores of the second half could go to Cuala. That's a dangerous sun that's coming down there now as well. That's going to be in the eyes of what looks like Sean Brennan.
2-12 to 9. David Tracy standing over this one. Tracy puts it over. So it's a good start, a bright start for Cuala in the second half. Darragh O'Connell, he's trying to storm into this one, but Tom Brennan tackled him and got the ball back. Somehow, I was about to say somehow got it to Sean Baxter, but Baxter couldn't get it in hand. It was a tough one to take in his credit. The sun out, by the way, for the second half. It was dreary weather-wise in the first. Peter Feeney is bottled up. The referee says that he held on to it for too long, and it's a free out.
Yeah, look, Jason was right beside it, and again, credit where it's due there. The defending from Cuala was really good.
Sent on by Jake Malone into the hand of David Tracy. David Tracy looking for his first from play, but that drops wide.
Yeah, the marking inside now, you can see it's fair tight. The umpires are keeping a close eye on there as well, because AJ's been well marshalled inside there off the ball. Good turnover. Dermot
Clermont is stripped of possession. David Tracy very obviously injured. You can tell by the leg strapping. Did well to get the ball, but just couldn't affect the finish. It's
unlike him, and even the movement afterwards is unlike him as well. So he's obviously carrying that leg a bit. But again, he's got on 2 balls as well, from a turnover and hard work rate as well. So, like we said at half time, there's obviously been a few harsh words, and Na Fianna need to get on ball here now as well.
Conor McHugh back to Tracy. Tracy into the corner. Donald Burke comes out to meet it. Left it behind. Great work by Cian O'Callaghan. Sean Brennan. We haven't seen a whole pile of Sean Brennan roaming forwards. We're not going to see it now. He gives it to O'Flynn. O'Flynn helps it down the line for Darragh O'Connell. What a take, what a turn, what a run. What a score. That's Darragh O'Connell at his best. Yeah, 2 in the second half from him.
No, you're 100% right. Down to 7 now, 10 to 7. So if you're on that Na Fianna pitch now, you need to ask yourself the question, who's going to win the next 30 ball, because it's needed soon, because Cuala are getting on top, as all good champions and all good teams do. So big question asked now of Na Fianna.
4 points in a row from Cuala. They scored the last one of the first half and the opening 3 of the second. Tom Brennan Brennan, followed by Cronin. Brennan keeps his cool. Peter Feeney has to try and retrieve it. Malone is all over him, coming in to help out now. Sean Baxter. That's a great ball. Micheál Murphy. Murphy's going for it here. Murphy. Great work by Moore. Murphy gets it back and hits a trickler. That's a big moment for Cuala, and their fans know it too. But then it's intercepted by Donal Ryan. Jake Malone. It's a free. Well, that's a huge moment. Murphy went for it. He bore in on goal. Couldn't get a decent strike away. And Cuala don't cough it up. They don't give away the score. That's big for them. And there's a bit of a wrestling match going on off the ball on the other side. Niall Carty involved. Also there, Liam Rush.
Yeah, I think the linesman might have seen it, but again, go back to that last play there again. You know, a lot of people say like go down the throat and go at the goal, but like, you know, you haven't scored in the second half yet. You know, put the ball over the bar might have been the better option. Maybe the umpires are going to be involved here now too. I think Rushy was on the ground, but I think, look, we'll see what they have to say.
Well, it happened off the ball. We saw the reaction to it as opposed to how it actually started, so I wonder what the umpires saw.
The breeze is picking up there now as well. You can see in the flags it's coming more crossfield, I think, than in a direction, but I'm not sure the umpires saw too much either.
Well, Niall Carty, who's not long on. Yellow card. We resume the Cuala free. Mark Schutte had a runner off, and that was Jake Malone. Schutte.
That's a great score if it goes over. No.
Rush was waiting. Carty tried to stop him. Rush sidestepped him magnificently, but took too many steps, and it's a free in. Well, Na Fianna are rattled.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again. You know, Rushy, that's his trademark run, I suppose, for the last 15 years in Dublin hurling. But look, if he took too many steps, then Jason's right. But when he was coming out with the ball there again, you know, you can see that Cuala starting to close down that shorter puck out, I think, a little bit more. Like, you're going from 11 to 6 here now, Oisín. You know, it's a big turnaround. Like you said, they got the last score of the first half, and like that's testament to the team that's out there as well. Like, they won't die down. So like the big question now is, can Na Fianna come back?
Yeah, the last 5 scores in a row have gone Cuala's way. And you go back to that Micheál Murphy chance, and you said it, Joe, he should have just popped it over. You have to admire him for taking it on and going for goal. But
great take.
Fantastic from Sean Curry. Curry surrounded by half a Dalkey, but I think he has the free in here. Sean Moran being called over by the referee. Well, it is definitely an Na Fianna free in. Is something more to follow? No. So a chance for them to stop the rot. Donal Burke stepping up, looking for the first score of the second half for Na Fianna.
Yeah, it's an important free here now for Donal to make sure that he gets the Na Fianna kind of troops on the board for the second half. No clock started down there yet.
No, but we have it on the screen here. It's wide. Sean Moran goes low, intercepted. Peter Feeney couldn't get it away, battling for it. Colin Cronin falls the way of Darragh O'Connell, who stormed into this. Liam Murphy, we know he can turn, stuck to there by Sean Burke. Na Fianna emerge with it. It's Liam Rush. Rush tries to get the pass away, steps again, and it's a free in.
Look, that's the few words that Cuala had at half time have worked, and you know, it's testament again to that team that are out there. You know, they're really coming back into it, but Na Fianna need a settling down, and I suppose there's where you were saying earlier on, you know, the Shane Barretts and the Paul O'Dees of this world, you know, where they're missing that bit of leadership. So look, it's again, it was always going to happen. Cuala were always going to have a purple patch, but the big question is now, can Na Fianna react to it?
David Tracy yet again doing it. Back to within 5. 6 for Tracy, 3 of them have come in the second half. Here's John O'Tracy looking for Feeney and finding him. Just didn't hop up from there. Swept forwards, great work by Kevin Kerwin. Comes to Mark Shute. Shute just about stays in play. Great pass inside. Diarmuid O'Flynn takes off. O'Flynn with a bit of space. Has the man running. O'Flynn gives it off. Left behind by Carty. Spills to Colm Cronin. Colm Cronin wide.
Yeah, hard luck by Colm again. Just came off the shoulder from the run, and I was just going to say that's the difference. You know, you're running through, but just pop the ball off, take a score. But Na Fianna look tired now again, and Cuala are starting to get the mojo back up again. So I'm sure all the Cuala fans that are at home now can see. And again, there seems to be an issue here now with an umpire.
Well, Na Fianna haven't scored since the second minute of injury time in the first half.
Yeah, it's a chance now as well for management, I think, for Na Fianna to have that word in the ear, and for Cuala as well, just to keep drive the troops on. But something has to change here for Na Fianna. Somebody has to win a puck out here or be capable of one. Here's John out again.
Well, we said it, Cuala are a champion outfit. They'd come back into it, they'd have their spell. Curry comes to try and get there. Colin Curry up against Simon Timlin. Murphy wants it. Curry steps is the call again. Curry gets his pass away. Advantage coming. Peter Feeney. Feeney, they have the free anyway.
What?
No, play was allowed to continue. It was too long after the free was awarded, so they lose the free. Donald Ryan. Ryan tried to battle his way out. Intercepted by Cuala. Now it's Micheál Murphy. Taken by Sean Curry. Curry, is he fouled by David Tracy? No, but he does get it away to Micheál Murphy. Micheál Murphy hooked brilliantly. That is great work by David Tracy. He may be injured, but he's giving it absolutely everything. He's having a great game.
And you can hear that Dalkey crowd over there now starting to get behind the team as well. Like, and Fianna can't seem to get a break now at the minute.
Well, there's a break, but he couldn't take advantage. Fergal Burnock. Donald Ryan back to Diarmuid Turkin, or Sean Baxter, I beg your pardon. Intercepted. Great work from Kevin Kerwin. Kevin Kerwin bottled up. Foul awarded. Free from Donald Ryan. Na Fianna have a man down.
Yeah, and questioning a decision there now as well about something seems to have happened. AJ on the ground. Like Sean, in fairness, has come back into it down the second half for Cuala. You know, we've seen an awful lot more of Darragh O'Connell. We've seen Colm Cronin, David Tracy again. They're battling. Like, you know, he's, you know, like his life depended on Keane O'Callaghan's driving the troops on. So it's a real resurgence from Cuala here in the second half, and it looks to be really player driven as well, which is great to see from a club's perspective, and also for Na Fianna. Like, look, we've said it for the last we're 10 minutes in now to it. There seems to be kind of, you know, just that leadership now at the minute. Somebody needs to grab it, and we need to see Donald Burke or an AJ or a McHugh or somebody grab a puck out, but AJ seems to be in a bother here.
Well, let's hope he's okay. From the Na Fianna point of view, this might take the sting out of the game. AJ Murphy is on his feet again, which is good. Well, it's everything we expected it to be. AJ Murphy's going to try and drive on. Cuala looking for another score. Liam Rush intercepts it. Great catch by him. Tries to play it out to Donald Ryan. Donald Ryan heavily marked by Kevin Kerwin.
Yeah, no,
Cuala have turned it over.
One hand on a day like that, Oisin.
And it's a free in. And the Cuala mentors are jumping up and down. They're like coil springs that are being released.
There's Kevin and know himself there, like on a wet day like that with the ground like that, going down with one hand like that, you know, coming out. And I'm actually sure even when Rushy caught that ball at the time too, you'd say to yourself that I'd say his delivery wouldn't have been like that if it hadn't been for being called steps kind of 2 occasions before that. But really, like, you know, in fairness to Cuala, their forwards are working so hard now to turn that ball over.
Tracy sticks it over. Cuala reeling Na Fianna back in here. Three in a row from David Tracy. Conor McHugh is down injured. A wise old head. He knows to take the sting out of it if he possibly can.
Yeah, but he can't go on without the helmet off, and he seems to be calling play on.
Well, Na Fianna desperately need a score. They've conceded the last 7 in a row. Tom Brennan couldn't keep a hold of it. It's in that ruck. Na Fianna possession. Peter Feeney gets it back. Donal Ryan. Again, Sean Moran is there to read the danger, but it wasn't a particularly good ball. Sean Moran half hooked. Fergal Burnach tidies it up. Here's Liam Rush. Liam Rush is going for it, but I don't think it'll get there, and not by a long shot. Brennan bats it away. It's a bit of a risky one, but Moran wins the foot race. In fairness to Brennan, he probably knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that Moran was there. Conroy. Moran. Sean Tracy.
That sun is causing problems there. You can see defenders as well with the hurls up.
Mark Schutte tries to win it. Conor McHugh is there. McHugh against Schutte. Two very powerful players. Jimmy Clerkin drops it. He's dropped. Cuala have won the rucks in the second half. Even when Na Fianna have escaped with possession, Cuala have got a free.
Yeah, it's the first one they've got in a while.
Yep.
You know, and again, Rushy came out with that ball there as well, and you know, you can see that, like you said over there on the line, like everyone's animated now at the moment from both sides. And look, there's a lot on offer here. Like, you know, you've a place in a county final, like, you know, and Na Fianna had such a good first half, and then all of a sudden now Cuala have come storming back into it again. It's just like somebody just needed to prod them back into life again, and you know, we've seen over the course of the last couple of years how good of a team they can be. So their leaders are starting to really stand up here now. It's a big one for Tracy.
Cushions it down the line, looking for the run of Sean Baxter. Baxter is being followed by Sean Tracy. Cuala looking to win the ball in the ruck yet again. Fergal Burnach gets the shot away. Fergal Burnach gets the score. The first one for Na Fianna since the 32nd minute, as in the second minute of injury time in the first half.
Yeah, it's important when they had to go over, and you can see Rush trying to cover across here now as well, because it's a great ball out by Sean Brennan.
Fantastic ball. Well, that's a big moment for Na Fianna, but Liam Murphy, who's been immense today, battling for possession. Sean Burke has it, pops it out of the tackle, wins the free out.
Yeah, that's brilliant by Sean Burke. He won the ball on the ground as well, and looks around to see is Buckley actually going to give him the free, but Rush came across the cover, and in fairness, Burke won the ball. This thing of the long free, I hope, like, for me again as a manager, like, you want to try and, like, it worked out the last time, but if you have a free taker of the ability, Donal Burke, I know it's a long way out, but like, Jono has to go for it, or else there has to be movement. This thing of standing inside just doesn't work.
Martin Quilty is in for Na Fianna. Played for Dublin a few years ago. The teacher replacing is that Sean Baxter has gone off. It is Baxter.
Yeah, Martin has obviously carrying that knee, because you can see it's strapped there again, but he's been a great player for them over the last number of years. So
that's going to drop inside the square. Is it going to drop kindly? Na Fianna have possession. It's O'Flynn. He's fouled free out. Well, this is what we wanted from the neutral point of view. A battle. We certainly have one. Cuala making a change.
AJ and Cian O'Callaghan get to know each other down there as well. There'll be no Christmas cards this year, I say, between the two of them. But again, the changes that Cuala are making, and I think you said it earlier on, Oisin, they're making a difference. You know, they're causing an impact. That's Sean Tracy that's gone off there now, and
yep. Emmett Murphy's come in, a big kind of rangy forward. Sean Moran. Rush went up for it, didn't get it first time, got it second time, got it away to Sean Curry. Curry being chased down here by Jake Malone. Curry,
Great feet.
brilliant feet, wins a free in.
You know, I'm delighted to let him go as well, because I think we talk all the time about how hurling can progress in Dublin or in wherever people are involved. Obviously I'm involved with Westmeath now at the moment, and in order for that to happen, the refereeing again has to allow forwards. And again, you see forwards tackling inside there a few minutes ago, and you know, you're asking forwards to work hard all the time, and it's very rare you see forwards getting, you know, a free for an overcarrying on the way out. But that was a really, really brave decision by Curry to go forward, and good refereeing there as well to allow him to take that step. And unfortunately he was dragged down by Sean, but Sean Moran has come back into it in the second half. They need more now from him, though. They need more from Colin Cronin. Con is a huge loss, Oisín. You know, not to have him today is a massive loss, and you know, I suppose for football and for hurling and Cuala, he just seems to be so unfortunate at the moment with injuries.
As you'd expect, Burke pops it over.
10 minutes left.
Well, the second half has flown by. Brennan. Rush. What a catch.
Again.
Quilty, first possession, looking down the line for AJ Murphy, but it was fantastically intercepted by Cian O'Callaghan. Taps it inside to Sean Moran, the two old stagers. Referee playing advantage. Liam Murphy. It's a free. And that wasn't for that incident, it was for the incident back there where there was a high hurley left on Sean. Was it Cian O'Callaghan or Sean Murphy? Do you think too much time was left go in that incident?
Yeah, look, I suppose it's a case again for Cuala, like the batting that's happened there now. They're looking for movement inside, and again it's a great run outside.
Sean Moran has picked out his man. Emmett Murphy not long on, didn't get it cleanly. Has it now, has a go.
Wide.
Doesn't have a point. Well, the umpire just for a second looked like he was leaning towards the white flag, but the referee said no, we're stopping again. Na Fianna about to make a change. Sean Ryan is coming in.
Yeah, unfortunately for Martin Quilty, he'd made a great run for a puck out there from John O'Tracy. Sean Ryan, you know, again a big man. You know, he causes problems when he comes in. He's been seen more as an impact sub at times for Na Fianna. AJ's coming out, so it's a big 10 minutes now for Na Fianna as a hurling team, I think, here now as well. So all the underage success, the 21s, the minors. Can you beat, you know, what have been, you know, double All-Ireland champions in the last kind of 5 or 6 years? AJ
Murphy picked up a knock a few minutes ago. He has been replaced by Sean Ryan. Ryan offers something a little different, a bit like a Dara Conan style. He's pickpocketed his man there. Cian O'Callaghan left it behind. Ryan left it off to Burnock. Burnock plays across the park for Curry. Great marking by Timlin. Curry hasn't given up on it. Sean Moran is there though. Moran to Brennan.
Great ball by Sean Brennan.
Looking for Emmett Murphy. Murphy doesn't take it cleanly. Picking it up is Sean Burke. Sean Burke. Cool under
fine
pressure
game,
there.
hasn't he? He's Sean Burke, in fairness, he came back in, Rush has dropped it, but Sean Burke has had a good game there. Like, he's consistently strong in the tackle.
Clerkin looking there for Micheál Murphy. Micheál Murphy moves it off. That's really good work. Quilty blocked down. Fantastic by Darragh O'Connell who hooked him. Simon Timlin, he'll get to this, but he's pressurised by Curry. Great work by Curry. That's surely a free.
Yeah, and he needed that. And look, again, Sean, like, I rate very highly, and Colin the same. Colin came out there to win that ball, but when Colin gets on the ball, he puts his hand out, like he's it's just that dirty ball he has to get used to winning a little bit more. But this is a big free now for Donald Burke as well, and in fairness to the Cuala players, they've really come back at this in the second half. Their subs have made a big impact, but at the moment now, again, is that purple patch over? You know, Sean Ryan did really well on Cian O'Callaghan a few minutes ago, but like Sean Brennan is still trying to drive the thing on. But I'd love to see more of Darragh O'Connell. If for me, like, again, would you have 5 or 6 minutes out of him up front, because when he gets inside, he's only one thing on his mind. And Cuala are going to have to pull something soon in order to. This could be a 7-point lead.
Burke.
It's a super free.
That's a fantastic free under pressure, and they're back to a 7-point lead. They've got 3 of the last 4 scores, Na Fianna. 2 of them have come from Donald Burke. Was he held back, Niall Carty? Referee plays on. Niall Carty wins his own break. Callahan was running, but Liam Rush wins it back. Here's Micheál Murphy. Micheál Murphy trying to get away from Cian O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan catching up with him. Malone also there. Free out.
For 3 catches, was it?
He didn't indicate. Sean Moore out to Darragh O'Connell. Surely he'll pop this one over. He's got all the time in the world.
He's great athleticism as well, though.
And he uses that athleticism to get closer to goal and make it an easier point. Good score from him. He's third of the second half. And that stops the rot somewhat for Cuala. They've conceded the last 3 points.
Yeah, like you've 5 official minutes left now, and I'd say Jason will probably play 3 or 4 as well, I suppose, based on that injury that happened, or the timeout for McHugh, maybe. Burkey.
Every possession vital. That's Donald Burke. And that's a wide.
No, but he's a free. He has to have a free for advantage, I'd say.
Yeah, he does, yeah. Donald Burke, he's been a steadying hand in the second half. Burke hits it wide.
Yeah, that's 2 poor frees in the second half he's missed. You know, and again, he'll know that himself, but there's 7 or 8 big minutes coming up here now for both teams.
Sean Moore with a big high lofted ball. Na Fianna soak it up. It was well worked by Peter Feeney. Tracy puts it outside to Quilty. Quilty has to let it go to Micheál Murphy. Cuala have outscored Na Fianna 7-3 in the second half, but you reckon that they'll probably need a goal at some stage?
Yeah, and I thought I saw Con earlier on coming off being spoken to by one of the management, but it doesn't look like he's togged at all even. And look, he's a huge loss. Like that kid is iconic in regards to Cuala hurling and what he could have been for Dublin hurling as well, but what he's done for Dublin football. So he's a huge loss.
Referee sprinting over. I think they're taking too long over the line ball. It's going to be a hot ball instead. Niall Carty very eager to get involved. It's thrown in. Wasn't necessarily set right, but we have thrown in. Cuala lose it. Here's Rush. Rush goes to ground. Free out. It actually works out better for Na Fianna.
Yeah, and a lot of people, look, at times people say that I can favour, you know, the likes of Rush or Lambert at centre back, but for me, like, he's been colossal in the second half when they needed a leader. They won 2 high balls over there, and for me, like, again, look, he's got a bang on the hand here now, but he's won balls, dirty balls for Na Fianna when they needed to. And this is a big free again here now for Donald, because he's asking the line, never mind what time is left, like, for his own good now, he needs to settle down, hit his free. And from Cuala's point of view, they're still there, you know, they still have an opportunity and a chance, but they need to get the ball inside to Mark Schutte. Like, they've put David Tracy inside now as well, so rather than having 2 people inside for people at home, they have the 3-man full forward line in around the square now. So I've no doubt when this ball goes dead, the ball is going to go high in towards Tracy and Mark.
Donald Burke missed the last one. Doesn't miss this one. That's a big one as well. .216, that's 22 points to 15. That's a 7-point gap.
Yeah, I met Na Fianna man coming in there, Tom Ryan, on the gate, and he was saying if Na Fianna were to come through today, like, you'd have a pairing in football and hurling finals, which would be novel. I suppose both clubs, Na Fianna and Crokes, in both finals. Probably, look, some statsman somewhere will tell, is it one of the first or only times in Dublin history?
And Na Fianna got to the Camogie senior final. Unfortunately for them, lost to Vincent's. And Crokes got to the ladies final and won it.
Right,
yeah, they beat Thomas Davis. They actually won the league today as well, Kilmacud Crokes. So it's a treble for them in ladies football: the cup, the league, and the championship. Yeah,
like we said earlier on, you know, we said it was spoken about last night. A lot of people talk about super clubs, but there's an awful lot of really good people in these clubs, Ushin, that are doing an awful lot of work. Both Na Fianna, Cuala, you know, the teams that were there last night, Crokes, Bowden. So, you know, there are super people involved in these clubs as well that drive the thing on. So,
David Tracy, speaking of super work being done in a club,
wide.
Unlucky for him, he's hit it wide. Well, if Cuala do lose this one, it won't be because of him. He's worked incredibly hard today. He's left it all out there. He kept them in it at times.
Movement again here now. You can see, but I'd say if Neil and Colin Burchell and those lads involved with Na Fianna will actually, they won't be happy till they're at home sitting down on the couch after what happened last year, because they're 7 points up here now with 2 or 3 minutes to go, and after the final last year they had it won and just let it slip. So The big thing now is to close it out, but here come Cuala again.
Emmett Murphy, they need a goal. Murphy bearing down on that goal. Murphy tries to chip it across. It's a good ball. Collected by Liam Murphy. Liam Murphy settles for the point. His first of the second half.
Jason's telling the linesman now what's left, so...
Well, 30 seconds, but there was a lot of stoppages in that second half.
He's saying 4, I think.
Tracy. As you say, Na Fianna were bitten last year by that experience in the final. Flicked on by Donald Burke, but it's red rather than yellow and blue that gets there. Over it now is O'Flynn. The Na Fianna supporters think he's fouled the ball. O'Flynn back up and gets it off to Cronin. There's still time for Cuala, but not much of it. Breaks kindly. Micheál Murphy. Cuala supporters think that was a free. Micheál Murphy dispossessed. Wonderful work. Emmett Murphy has options. Murphy. It's a risky one. Colm Cronin was surrounded and Na Fianna have turned it over. It wasn't Colm Cronin, it was Niall Carthy. Tom Brennan gets it away, but not very far. Great catch. Flicked forward by Jake Malone. Liam Murphy.
Goals, no.
Yeah, they're trying to work a goal or two. They have to.
I just think tactically today Cuala have left an awful lot there. Like, you know, they waited so long to have those two danger men inside, and I think Tracy just carrying the leg a small bit, and look, it's a huge chance from here now. He's going to drop it in.
And in fairness to him, he was back making blocks and hooks and tackles and everything.
But allowing that short puck out Usheen for so long, you know, gave a platform for Tracy to set him up.
David Tracy.
Going for it.
He gets it. They're back to within 5. Cuala being Cuala, you don't write them off, but it's looking unlikely that they can pull themselves out of this one.
I wouldn't write them off yet, Usheen.
Great take by Donald Burke. He's fouled, it's a free in. Clever play, great play by Donald Burke.
Yeah, he'll put this ball out into the golf course now, I'd say, if it's still in there. Like, he's, you know, again, the question was asked, I suppose, last night and today again about the young players coming through, about whether they'll be able to stand up to the old guard, and you know, you can see at the moment that like there's loads of energy on that Na Fianna line over there as well. And look, they went through the tough county final last year, and to go back again with an opportunity and a chance to go to Kilmacud. But again, look, it's not over till that whistle blows. Like I said, they won't be happy till they're sitting at home this evening on the couch knowing that they're in a county final.
Donald Burke. It has enough, and you wonder, will that be enough? 6 between them, and 2 minutes of the 4 minutes of injury time. Well, our theory is that it's 4 minutes. There's been no indication. O'Flynn. Cuala have to try and work a goal.
Have to go for it.
Here's Liam Murphy. Murphy blocked by a brave body. I think it was McHugh who got something on it. He's been immense today. You get the feeling Na Fianna just have so many bodies back there that Cuala might not be able to get a shot away.
And Rush comes out again with it.
Brilliant work by Liam Rush. Flicked on by Sean Curry. Tom Brennan escapes. Brennan got a good pass away. Through the ball. It's a free in. Cuala have to drop it in. Na Fianna migrating back in numbers. Ball into the square. Falls kindly for Tracy. Tracy pucks it anywhere.
Tracy puts it out over the far office window, yeah. And again, look, they're still pushing towards goals, and you'd wonder why they left it so long as well to do that. But again, from Na Fianna's point of view, Liam Rush has been outstanding, you know, absolutely outstanding in the second half. Donald Burke, just a special talent all over, and they rely an awful lot on him. I thought AJ worked really well, but Sean Ryan, when he's come in too, has worked back. You can see him running back there as well to cover ground. And look, they're not going to let what happened last year in the county final, I don't think, happen again.
Sean Moran into the square, taken bravely and brilliantly by Colin Curry. Moved it up. Donald Burke. Burke spoons it forward. Sean Ryan. Darragh O'Connell gets to him, but Ryan makes it stick. And Ryan just does a bit of delaying. Knows exactly what he was doing there.
He'll probably get a yellow card for his troubles, but you know, if maybe last year again when they were under the cosh, maybe in that last couple of minutes before the final ball, maybe if somebody had done that, you know, there could have been a trophy sitting in Moby Road, and Crokes went on to win it deservedly in the end. And look, Crokes had a big win last night, and you know, it looks like now at the moment you're going to get a pairing the same as what it was last year.
Na Fianna and Crokes in the go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 football final, and it's likely to be Na Fianna and Crokes in the go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 hurling final. Cuala need 2 goals. I don't think we have the time for it, but maybe Sean Ryan has given them enough time. In hurling you can get 2 goals very quickly, but that's a throw as opposed to a free, and now it's a free. It's a free for Na Fianna.
Just a bit of frustration there maybe from the Cuala lads. Yeah, it looks like their year is done. You know, I'm just so surprised that they left it so long to change that pushing up on the puck out. You know, again, you know, when you're watching it up here, it's easier said. I've been the person on the pitch at times as well who's made those wrong decisions. But look, credit to Na Fianna, they deserve it based on their hunger in the first half, and you know they saw the storm out in 20 minutes there where Cuala were well on top, and you know Cuala were unlucky as well. A couple of balls hit off the post, you know, and some of their main men were Marshall. The big score for
Donald Burke makes sure of it. Sean Moran will come forward. Cuala will keep playing. They'll keep working. They'll keep trying. That's the kind of team they are. Bounces, but McHugh is there to collect it. That's it. It's all over. Na Fianna took a mighty blow last year, but life in sport is about how you recover from taking such a big blow like that. Na Fianna have done it. It's not easy to get back to the final having lost it the way they did, but they have, and that is a massive credit to them. The final score, Na Fianna 218, Cuala 17 points.
Yeah, look, it's a huge day for Na Fianna, but again, I go back to what happened last year. You know, these days are huge when you go on and you win your county final, you put your trophy up in the cabinet up in the clubhouse, and in fairness to Na Fianna today, you have to give it to them tactically. You know, team-wise, effort, hunger, they had it all on the field, and I suppose a lot of people questioned them. I suppose even in the background, you know, you'd read some stuff at times, silly stuff at times about this and that, but they're back in the county final now. You know, they're where I suppose Cuala and Bowden would love to be, and you know, credit to all 4 clubs that played over the weekend as well, Oisín. But you have to give it to Na Fianna today. You know, Burke, when he needed to stood up, you know, you have to give it. I thought Peter Feeney was excellent in the first half. You know, the 2 Currys showed loads and loads of energy, and the platform came from Jono in the goal as well. He looked for ball, and he looked for that platform. But look, Cuala will be very disappointed. You know, they've set a benchmark for I suppose the tradition of where club hurling can go outside of Dublin for a couple of years, but similar to I suppose last night as well, it's heartbreak for Cuala and for Bowden, but it's joy and elation for Kilmacud and Na Fianna, and credit to them for backing the younger players as well.
Well done to Neil O'Kellican, the manager, and his management team, Colin Birchall, Nigel O'Hara and Owen Roach, and of course Kathleen Murphy, who is their physio. Na Fianna, without Shane Barrett, without Paul O'D, came here, got a good lead, let Cuala get a run on them. Cuala, much to their credit, battled hard, showed the champion outfit that they are. They've represented themselves and often in the past represented Dublin and Leinster in the All-Ireland series with pride. No doubt they will be back. They have the talent, they have the squad, they have the all-round infrastructure of the club in both football and hurling, but today is Na Fianna's day.
Yeah, and look at the pitch there now, and you see like the kids are surrounding Liam Rush. Like I thought he was colossal in the second half when they needed to kind of get their feet back in the game. The first thing he does then is he goes to the Cuala clubmates who he's soldiered with for so long in a blue jersey as well. But look, there's a big day coming up now in 2 weeks' time for Kilmacud and for Na Fianna. But look, Shane Barrett was a huge loss for them, Paula D a huge loss for them. So it'll be up to them now over the next kind of couple of weeks as well to drive standards, to make sure that look, we're not playing, but we want to make sure that we don't go back and let's see what happened last year again. And look, they're in a chance now to bring that trophy back to the Moby Road for the first time.
Well, let's have a look at what happened in that second half. A second half that started so brightly for Cuala. They got the first 6 scores.
Yeah, it was always going to happen, Oisín. Like the Cuala club people, hurlers are all, you know, footballers are all very, very proud people out there. And you know, the few words that were said at half time, it looked to me like it was driven enough from the players. That resurgence came back. You know, the Sean Brennans, the Cian O'Callaghan's, you know, the Sean Morans. You know, they were driving the thing as much as they could. And look, they came out and they scored 5 or 6 of the first points in the second half. O'Connell, I thought, came into it for that first 10-minute spell. You know, I'd rate him really, really highly. Again, I probably would have looked at maybe pushing him up maybe towards the end when they were 5 or 6 points down, because I think if he gets a ball ball in his hand, he'll take on any defence. But credit where it was due, young Curry when he came through as well, and it was constant all the time when they were running through. Na Fianna, in fairness to him, Michael Murphy did really well. He's definitely one for the future. Tracy was, as he always is, was very, very good on the frees. Missed one towards the end, but looking at him, I think he's carrying that leg, and maybe Cuala had to play him today with the fact that, not that he did anything wrong because he fought for ball, but when you're missing Con as well, I can see Sean Tracy down there now, he's very despondent and upset because look, they've been worthy champions, like over whatever they beat Bowden in 2020, and we've had a couple of years now where Crokes got on top last year. The great thing to see out there for people at home as well, Hushin, is the camaraderie among the people and the clubs. It was shown there before the game as well for the people up in Donegal. But after the game, they go to war on the field, but they're teammates as well, I suppose, in another jersey. So it's great to see that kind of between both clubs, and the same happened here last night as well.
What about this man storming forward? What a game he had.
Yeah, look, he's a special talent, and I said it to you, he needs, once whatever happens in 2 weeks' time now as well, like it's important for him and for Na Fianna and for Dublin that he's somewhat minded as well, because an awful lot falls on his young shoulders, and he's done that for a couple of years now for the Dublin seniors and for Na Fianna as well. He's a great young player, but look, very impressed overall today with their attitude, their work rate, their not just messing around. Look, I think an awful lot of the time they're questioned in regards to standing up, but I wouldn't be tapping myself on the back if I was them now as well, on the field over there. I wouldn't be out there too long congratulating myself. I'd be back in the dressing room. I saw it here in whatever it was in 19 or whatever, when Dublin beat Galway and everyone was tapping each other on the back, and all of a sudden then you go down the following week and you're beaten. So get them back into the dressing room, get them recovered, get all the injuries and nicks kind of healed up, and go and win a county final. But I'm sure there's boys out in Stillorgan watching here today that have the same ambition and same aspiration, and they were very, very impressive last night.
In football, Na Fianna take on Crokes. In hurling, Na Fianna take on Crokes. Could we have a double, or will it be a case of them splitting the prizes?
Yeah, I won't claim to know too much about the big ball, but look, for two clubs as well, like, you have to give credit where credit is due for the infrastructures that they have in place. Like, it's funny sometimes that people keep questioning it about the numbers, and that is so true. But I always talk about as well. I've seen it from a club perspective and a county perspective where I am now. Like, the right people have to be in place and have to be behind you in order to put that infrastructure in place and the coaching in place. So look, Cuala have had a couple of management teams now in the last 2 years as well, and I suppose it goes back to, I suppose, Matty was there, had great success, and Willie Marr came up, won a couple of club titles with them as well. But the last 2 years have probably been frustrating for them. So it's a big question now, I suppose, about where they are going forward. Well,
you can see it over there. The Na Fianna crowd are happy, but there's no jumping up and down, there's no wild celebrations. I guess, Joe, that's a good sign. They're back to where they want to be, but they haven't achieved what they want to yet. Yeah, the likes of Owen Roach, and I suppose those lads that are involved with Na Fianna would know that, and would temper down the expectation that's over there now too. Like I said, I'd have them back in the dressing room now soon enough, and getting ready recovery for 2 weeks' time. Well, the final will be on in 2 weeks' time. Where it'll be on, as in where it'll be broadcast, I don't know. It might be one that TG Cahir are interested in. If it's a Saturday night, RTE might take it. If none of them take it, we'll have it for you on Dubs TV. You will be able to watch that final if you can't get here. But my advice is to get here, because it'll be a cracker, Na Fianna and Crokes. I'm not asking you for a prediction because there's a couple of weeks to go and we're just after the semi-final. But what kind of match do you think it'll be? Will it be as tight as last year? Yeah, look, finals take lives of their own. I was lucky enough to be in 2 or 3 with Ballybowden. Like, club finals are so important for the locality. I expect a ding-dong one again. I'd love for both clubs if everybody was available, if that makes sense. I know young Alex went off last night with his knee. You'd hope he'd be okay for the final. Shane, who was my captain in 16, you'd hope. Well, could he play a part? It's supposed to be a significant knee injury, but I know other people and players have done it before. Is it a possibility that he could play a part in 2 weeks' time? Paul O'Dea, could he be right? Could you strap it to him? Or I don't know. Yeah. I'd love to see both teams, so I won't give you a prediction, but you'd hope for a good final, because so far, at times though, it's been very, very competitive and very high standard. There has been lulls, but I suppose overall, as a structure, it's an improvement on what was before. Okay, well, thanks to you for watching today. Remember, you can find out all you need to find out about Dublin GA via the Dublin GA website, and of course all the social media channels. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and anything we're showing will pop up live. You won't have to go searching for it. Whether or not we're showing the 2 Senior 1 finals, I'm not sure. They will be shown somewhere, that's for sure and certain. Hands up and cards on the table. I would love if TG Cahir or RT didn't take them, because they are games I would absolutely love to do but they're big games, so it's unlikely that they'll not be broadcast by one of the national broadcasters.
The big question is, Langan, who do you want, Stapleton or Fortune? Which
I'll take both.
Okay.
But look, my point is these are games, and it's a compliment to Dublin GA. These are games that should be on the biggest platform possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I saw it last night. I suppose the only disappointing thing I have from the weekend is the crowd. Like, you look down the country and you look what it means, and I know what it means to people in Dublin as well. I was in Cusick Park last weekend, last weekend to see Castletown beat Clonkill, and like it was a serious crowd. And I know we got a big crowd here last year, but the two semi-finals have been a little bit disappointing crowd-wise. Like, Cuala really got behind their team there as well, but when Berkey put over those last couple of frees, you could hear the noise coming from Moby Road. So let's hope that the Parnell Park will be filled in a couple of weeks' time when we get to a county final.
Well, they say the preparation for the next game begins immediately after the one you've just played. That's certainly the case for Na Fianna, who are going to do a bit of a warm down. I can't imagine there'll be any level of celebrations or anything like that, because they haven't won anything yet. Good as today was for them, they haven't won anything, and the hurt of last year, no doubt, is driving them, but it hasn't weighed them down. They've found the balance somehow.
Yeah, and I've read and I've seen things online at times about, what impact could it have, and someone was saying to me last night about Kilmacud that they've never won back to back. I think they won in 12 and 14 maybe. The big thing for me is how both teams respond now. Kilmacud looked last night like they have hunger, like they really want to go on and put that back to back. Look, they were disappointing against the Laois champions last year. Let's not beat around the bush, and I'm sure Kieran and that great management team that he has together will agree with that. But from my perspective is, look, it's testament to what Na Fianna have done.
Take a drink of water, I'll take over. You've talked too much this weekend. Na Fianna in
by the way, that's not emotion, that's just throat. No, look, you have to give it to Na Fianna.
Yeah.
In fairness to what they've done to get back to a county final, it's no easy feat, Oisin, and it's credit to all the people that are involved there, and you just hope for a blistering county final in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, well, that's it for our coverage today on Dubs TV. My thanks to you for joining us for the go-ahead Senior 1 Hurling Championship semi-final. Na Fianna overcoming Cuala. A dramatic second half, but in the end Na Fianna just kind of got back on top and did what they needed to do. A fantastic sign of a team, a sign that the team has matured nicely. They didn't kind of allow it to get into their heads, and they did what they needed to do to see it home. Earlier on in the Senior 2 semi-final, a little bit one-sided in the second half. Fogs, a more experienced Fogs team, even though they have a lot of young players as well, overcoming Castleknock, so they'll play Senior 1 Hurling next year. Whitehall Colmkill with the win yesterday against Ballantyre in the Senior 2 semi-final, and of course last night Kilmacud Crokes overcoming Ballyboden. You can watch that one back on the RTE player. You can watch the other games I mentioned back on Dubs TV. When we'll meet again, I'm not sure. As I say, the Senior 1 finals, both in football and hurling, will be broadcast somewhere, whether it's us, TG Cahir or RTE. Either way, they will be worth watching. But you know what, as I've said many times, better again, get yourself to Parnell Park, enjoy these games in person. If you want, bring the kids, and you'll get to have a puck around or a kick around or whatever you're having yourself on the pitch at half time and at full time. It's a very enjoyable experience. From myself, Joe, Colm, and all the guys and all the team, Derek from the county board, who puts it all together, and it's not an easy job, but he manages to stitch it all together. My thanks to all of them, and my thanks to you for watching. We'll catch you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.